LR, the liberal redneck here, coming to you from a country facing perhaps the most important presidential election in the history of our nation. The last presidential election, heavily tainted by Russian interference, left us saddled with the most incompetent person to ever assume the office. His gross malfeasance and outright criminal activities have created the very real possibility that he will be tried and sent to prison when he leaves office. As a result, he is looking for any way he can steal another election and use the statute of limitations to keep his ass out of jail. His main target in this effort is voter suppression, and his method is to prevent the ability to vote by mail. He claims it is a process filled with fraud. The only fraud associated with voting by mail is a technique known as ballot harvesting, which is illegal in most states. Also called vote harvesting, it is where absentee ballots are collected and submitted by volunteers other than the actual voter. In this process, criminals either throw away ballots unfavorable to their candidate or change the vote from one candidate to another favored by the criminals. It is strange that the president is concerned about this, since one of his favorite stooges, Congressman Devin Nunes of California, stated on national television that the only way Republicans can win with mail-in votes is through ballot harvesting. This has never been a widespread problem in the past, but with the coronavirus pandemic creating a very real need to vote safely, voting by mail has been heavily endorsed as a way to avoid chances of getting infected. This has caused the president to try and stop the process because it encourages voter turnout, and Republicans do not fare well in elections with large turnouts. Americans have been successfully voting by mail since soldiers used it in the war to save slavery. In the past, Republicans have used any means available to limit voting, including poll taxes, limited polling places and hours open, voter IDs, and the use of law enforcement at the polls to intimidate minority voters in particular. The right to vote has a convoluted history in our country. Originally, only white men were eligible. After the Emancipation Proclamation, black men became eligible, and eventually the suffrage movement gained the right to vote for women. The real main objective our president has to mail-in voting is the fact that paper ballots are virtually impossible to manipulate, and they greatly reduce the chances of voter fraud. Voting machines are so insecure that 9-year-old hackers can break into one in less than 5 minutes and change the results. Don't be fooled by the president's lies. Vote by mail, vote blue, and send this incompetent fool to his just reward. You can reach me at theliberalredneck@gmail.com, and you can visit live with me and my very talented and well-informed colleagues for our weekly wrap-up every Friday at noon Central on blogtalkradio.com/theliberalredneck. Thanks for watching.